You know, what we do here is we wing it, right?
Correct.
Yep.
And I think the intention today is to mainly wing it. There's plenty to talk about, though.
See.
So for those that are ready for the lips service,
Then watch them
welcome to Watch Your Lips
and follow them.
and follow.
Watch them lips. Follow
as
them lips.
Always, Jeff Cox, Kevin Burns, I'm Jake.
Kevin,
yeah,
wave to the there you
follow-
go. Wave to the
follow.
camera, Kevin.
I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I gave a lot of thanks.
Did you eat a lot of turkey?
You know
No.
who didn't? Matt Eberflus.
Ooh, or the
We'll get there.
Yeah.
fishy wishies. I did not eat a lot of
Tua
turkey.
played well.
It looks like we're not going to be talking the Dolphins the rest of the year. 500 rule still in effect.
Unless they lose to the Packers, then we can talk about them
Losing.
negative.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we have no
rules
choice?
are rules.
No.
Rules are rules.
Yeah,
Because you have a
I
Packers
thought
fan.
rules were rules.
I will.
Okay, we're breaking rules
No,
now. guys. All right.
I'm the judge and the jury here. So if the
You're
Packers,
not either. You're not either one
I
of
hate
those.
to-
And I'm
I
the
hate to t- I
executioner.
hate to
the
tell ya.
Dolphins suck.
hate to tell you, but I
They
am.
do suck, yeah.
And if the Dolphins Packer game will be discussed. Period.
Okay.
And then we will get back to our 500 rule.
Agreed.
It's in Miami. So, right?
No, it
It's
was in Green Bay.
It was in the frozen tundra.
the tundra
That's right.
where the fishies haven't
And
won much.
So he would rather not
in
talk
cold
about it, I
weather.
guess.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
We can talk about
We'll
them.
get to
You
it.
want to talk about them right now?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
No.
I mean, much bigger news headlines in our area. Again, for those listening around the world, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fresno State's had some news, and I'm sure we're going to spend probably a good amount of time on this today. Fresno State football has moved on from interim coach Tim Skipper and is just announced and hired and had a press conference today for Matt Entz, current defense or linebackers coach at SC, former North
Two-time national
Dakota
champion.
State head football coach. Read a lot of great
Yeah,
things.
Burns.
No, I'm not.
Haven't seen. I mean, just been the last couple days reading about him, checking in. I telling Jeff, last night I was reading a lot of stuff from USC fans, people linked at USC, to hear what they had to say. And for the most part, they're not happy. They wanted him to stay. So
I don't think there's
good.
anyone that had one negative thing to
I
say
couldn't
about
find
him
anything.
on the USC boards.
I've seen a lot of players come out and say, like, he changed my mind, my philosophy, my attitude as geared towards defense. I had seen some other stuff of players that have played for him in the past or that recruited him, said he was their favorite coach of all time, and just the passion he brings.
Is he young?
52.
50s, early 50s?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's young.
What I was thinking, didn't DeBorg coach at North Dakota or something?
I think it was South
DeBoer.
Dakota State.
There wasn't a G on there. But yeah.
So it was South
I know.
Dakota.
South Dakota.
I know.
Sioux
Jeff.
Falls.
That was for the effect.
Yeah. And he basically same pedigree. You know, winning at the lower levels.
That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
Excitement.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it.
A lot of things have been going on, and we'll link all the transfer portal and new hire and all that stuff, and Coach Skipper, who I think we all have to say thank you to for the job they did do, tried to accomplish. They did make a bowl game. I don't know where you guys want to start with this. Do you want to start with, again, I think we all agree. I would have been fine with Coach Skipper being named head coach. I think there are some things to say too. What was he allowed to do this year? What could he fire coaches? Like, there's not a lot of things I know. I do have my opinions on it, but I don't know where you guys want to
I have
start.
very strong opinions on all that.
You've seen a lot of alumni or specific alumni, certain alumni, saying things that I think in a couple weeks I probably would wished I'd never posted or days. So I don't know where you guys want to start.
Well, let's start with the interim tag. I think that's where I have the biggest problem is, okay, he won a bowl game. He was given the interim tag last year and won the bowl game. Teddy's out there still apparently at practice all the time, but wasn't able to
coach the team.
He had been in the program how long, Jake?
It's been a couple of years. He's been around.
And he'd been in the program before. He knows the standard of Fresno State football. And to me, an interim is, okay, you're coming in for the end of a season. 2 to 3 games, 4 games maybe. Somebody gets fired.
Well, and
something happens.
Because
there's a scandal.
Nobody knew the situation with Tedford.
Okay.
Was it long term? Was he going to step away? Was it... Nobody knew, and so it carried throughout.
And that's kind of going into my point.
Essentially, it looks like how it happened in the baseball program.
It's not an interim job.
With Coach Batesel and
you had
and
a full season as a head coach. That's not an interim.
You had a good
An
long
interim is
interview.
3 to 4 games, maybe 5. Okay, yeah. And Fresno State may be the only unique university that this has happened to in 2 major sports where successors that had been there a long time that are proven winners step down. And they handpick their guy, and they say, "Here's the keys to the car. We're going to bow out." And I'm not saying Tedford did that, but I think Skipper was obviously first in line. That's who Tedford wanted. That's who he gave it to. He had his opportunity. 6-6 is not a standard for Fresno State. You're not going to be sustainable. We're going back to stability, right, in the program, and I didn't feel at any point throughout the season that it was stable. At any point. And no knock on Skipper. Loved him as a player. Love him as a person. Yeah, he's a great motivator. He couldn't finish the job. That was my problem. So if you flip it, and a lot of these alumni are mad that Skipper didn't get the job.
Well, they're in their feelings, their emotion.
Yeah. So here's where you need to be mad. You had 4 games that you lost by 1 score. You were leading in all 4 of those games. You couldn't finish. Had you finished, we are 10-2. We're not even having this conversation. So he was given the keys to the car. He wrecked it. And, I mean, it sucks. No, it does. But he did. It sucks. 6-6 is not good. And then everybody's bailing on the bowl game.
Oh, are they?
Hello?
Guys, I had to bring in our timing issue. Joining us, though, to discuss this is Beware Bulldogs host Caleb Nail. Caleb, what's up, bro?
Caleb?
What's up?
Watch your lips.
Sorry for the depressing intro. My bad.
Yeah. Hype it up.
Unfortunately, Caleb Nail's joining us.
We'll cut that out.
No, what's up, Caleb? How we doing, buddy?
Good. Good. What did I walk in on?
No, Jeff was eloquently putting out his reasons for why Coach Skipper wasn't retained for the future of the program during this. And you've only missed a couple minutes, but you want to give him the
basically.
Well, hey, before you go
ahead,
in,
Kevin.
Congratulations, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that baby.
It's been a minute since you hadn't had the baby yet since you came on last time, and now you're a father of 2.
Father of 2. She's a month old. She's beautiful. My house is stocked full of shotgun shells, and we're having a good time, man.
Okay. Well, welcome to the pink
Yes.
team. Welcome to the pink team. I've got 2 myself.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
You getting much sleep?
No.
Didn't think so.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
Burns doesn't either.
For the rest of my life, apparently.
No, Caleb, what I was saying is, I get tired of people throwing around the interim tag because, in my opinion, the interim tag usually is somebody gets fired midseason, right? And you typically have 3 to 4 games, which you're taking over a program that wasn't yours. In this case, Skipper was there all of last year. He took over during the bowl game and won the bowl game. He's been in he's prepped that team, or he's been involved in all the schemes, everything that was going on the last 2 years. He was handed the keys to the car. So you have a full season as a head coach, whether it's an interim tag or not. You had 12 games to prove to the fan base, to the program, to the administration that you were the guy. And as much as I love Skip as a person and a motivator and all that good stuff, he's got all the qualities to be a head coach.
He's a dog.
And what I was saying earlier before you came on was you lost 4 games by 1 score in which you were leading, so you couldn't finish. And that shows to me immaturity as a head coach. You can't lose those games. You can't lose to Air Force in Hawaii. And you can't lose to Washington State at home when, I mean, those are 3, to me, terrible losses. UNLV, chalk it up to whatever. You got your ass kicked. But the other 3 were very winnable. And my whole point is, had he finished, then he's 10-2. We're not even having this conversation. Skip gets handed the keys, and everybody's happy on the alumni side. The other thing that I have a problem with before we go into your takes, what is a lot of alumni are vocal about, well, I'm not going to support the program. They didn't pick my guy. Okay, you're not a Bulldog then. And I'm sorry to call you out, but if you're not going to support because of one guy, the program's bigger than you. So you need to support us. You need to support Matt Entz. Give him the love that you gave Skipper and everybody else that's come in. And I'm just tired of them bashing the decision because I think they should have went to the outside.
I agree. Actually, I think everything you said is spot on.
What was your, you've seen the same thing we've seen on social media. You and I kind of talked about it yesterday, Caleb, on the phone. Like, the shocking thing's probably been the response from alumni a little bit. I mean, I get it. But where your thoughts at being, and let's not mistake it here. The number 1 fan podcast of Fresno State athletics is Beware.
Yeah.
So where are you and Pletz, where are you guys at on this?
Well, first, I don't think there's anyone on planet Earth that can deny Coach Entz's resume. Fantastic. Because I've seen it multiple times on social media. Oh, he coached at the FCS level. So it's not the same. And then I heard it today, actually in the office. Oh, he left. He couldn't get a job after that and had to go coach defense at USC, and they're a terrible defense. I don't think those people understand, one, what Entz was doing, and I don't think they've watched football.
No, and 2, they didn't see that he elevated the defense tremendously at USC also in 1 year's time.
To that, I agree. And I will say this, and I keep hearing the stepping stone comments, and this has kind of been rattling in my brain. I don't think any G5, there's not a G5 school that's just not a stepping stone, okay? And Kalen DeBoer came from a lower division school in South Dakota to Indiana to Fresno State to use Fresno State as a stepping stone to what was Washington eventually being a stepping stone. He went to a Pac-12 team that was a stepping stone to Alabama.
In the national championship, by the way.
But still a stepping stone, am I right?
Yeah.
And that was the Pac-12. I played the national title, and I used Washington to get to Bama.
And this is what I love about athletics, Jake. If you win at any level, okay, as much as Entz has won, you deserve an opportunity like this.
Do you think if Skipper had the same opportunity to go back to an SEC Florida,
which he did
with McElwain, and he had another opportunity to go be a DC, he's going to go. These none of these guys are above getting a bag. Nobody. And if he did well at Fresno State, if we kept him in Fresno State was and it was everything we wanted it to be as fans, somebody's coming for Skip.
The days of being a dog forever are gone.
The nature of college football is just, it's not the Pat Hill days and Jim. Those days don't exist anymore.
Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma
overnight.
A powerhouse.
He went to sleep in Oklahoma USC. And he was having breakfast on the beach.
Yeah. And now he's 6-6 thinking, shit,
making $11 million.
What did I do? That's what he's thinking.
I don't think. I think the stepping stone comment is name me a Mountain West school that's. You don't think people are going to start going at Boise State's coach if he has another good year? Do you think he sticks around for a couple more? What was the guy, Peterson before?
Yeah, I mean,
left to Washington.
Yeah, he left to Washington.
Name me a Mountain West team that would not be a stepping stone for anybody.
No, they all are.
So I don't want to hear that. That doesn't fit. We want to win. And if it's it, like most teams, I feel like adjustments are made at halftime. And again, I'm not an X's and O's football guy. So this is an idiot when it comes to football giving his opinion, which probably matters to nobody. But most teams that you see come out with a different approach in the second half, whether it was, a run, they make adjustments. And I felt like we got worse in the second half.
Well, I asked Jake this, Caleb, and you might know this, but I would be curious to see how many games that we rushed for under 100 yards at Fresno State, and then how many years it's been since that's happened. And I would think it's decades of how many 100 yards or more games that we had rushing. In the Pat Hill days, it was every game somebody was going over 100 yards. Every game.
We ran for negative yards this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks.
And again, man, it's not a personal problem,
not.
and that's where everybody's letting their emotions get in the way. Look at the wins and losses. Okay, FCS or not, he's won. He's won multiple times.
Well, and I think it's also
proven
fair.
Winners are hard to find.
Again, earlier we talked about a couple weeks back about, I got a little flack for bringing up stability in the program. And, it's not like Skipper just showed up this year. He's been around for a little bit, and he's been involved in the recruiting, and he's been involved in the game planning and the game prep. And then you have basically a full year to interview. So to say what he was handed, I mean, it's not like he was a stranger to the program. Again, I'm trying to be respectful here because I would have been totally fine giving Skip an opportunity.
We talked about that.
Yes, I don't have,
and he was a finalist.
but I'm also not at all mad that he wasn't named our head coach and that they went this direction. I'm not mad about it in the slightest. I think, listen, you want dogs to be the head. That's great. And with Ovi, and I think there's one thing that I'll talk about with Overland and the Batesville, how that went down and how Ovi was named, is that one, Chad and I with Hit or Die, when we were putting that out there, we made sure to never use the interim. We always called Ovi the head coach.
And that's what Skipper was.
And I find it strange that all of a sudden the energy in the last few days to get Skip hired as head coach, where was that energy all year from this alumni? And these guys, like, where was that energy? I've not seen these guys just completely lose their shit over naming Skip the head coach up until this last week. And now it's a big, big, bad issue that he didn't. Where was this energy all year from the people that are mad about it?
So, Caleb, what are the inner rumblings? Like, can you give us any insight? What have you heard? Like, since Ince has been announced, anything in particular you can share?
Former players are angry. And that's really all I can really say. And we've seen it. I've gotten messages about it. They're angry, but I think and I was actually talking to my wife about it last night. I wanted to put a video together and I was praying about it and I wanted to make a video not based off of, I'm just going to share it with you guys, and we're going to do a live stream tonight and I'm going to share it as well. But I want the conversation to turn from was it the correct decision to not hire Skip, or was it the correct or wrong decision to hire Entz? That's to me, the conversation has changed based off of what I've seen on social media, and it should now become okay. Well, I got to go back a little bit. 5 years ago, when I started Fresno State, the Blair Bulldogs podcast, I was told by multiple people within the program, as we got to see behind the curtain, just a sneak peek behind the curtain, that, we should really be a positive light towards Fresno State, which I want to be. And we should be sunshine and rainbow podcast for Fresno State. And when we weren't, we got slapped on the wrist a little bit. We were denied access to players and I don't really, so be it, whatever.
Now, just before you go on, you guys were not treated fairly. Let's just say that, okay?
Yeah.
I'll let you handle that, and whenever you're ready to have me get into further detail on that, we can. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. Well, but and during that time, through wins and losses, and things that we witnessed that where I could have, I would say, called out liars and corruption and things like that, we decided to focus on the kids and the fan base and the coaches and wanting to support them, because that's what's most important. And I was poked and prodded the whole time for money during all of this, to give money through all of it, even though I knew what was going on. And now all of a sudden, the ones that are closest to the program are now saying they're going to pull support and money. And to be honest, I don't care what you do with your money. It's your money. You do what you want. But to pull support actually means more to me than money. Because, I mean, especially if you played football there.
Yeah.
I mean,
dogs or die, bro.
A lot of us didn't get the opportunity to play football there, and I'm going to support no matter who's coach. And I understand I didn't play with Skip, and I mean, you guys touched on it, but the fact that there's a public outcry of disappointment about the hire, it speaks volumes, and not in a good way.
Well, it doesn't look like toughness. I'll tell you that.
Well, there's a few mantras. All of us grew up, loving Fresno State. We still love Fresno State.
We're all wearing V hats
one
right
of them
now.
That, and I have one of these for you, Caleb, too. But one of them is Bulldog born, Bulldog bred, and then it's how do we finish that?
Bulldog.
Going to be a Bulldog because they were dead.
So why have you stopped the third part of that mantra? That's my question to everybody that's questioning this hire. If that's what you are, and that's what we say we're going to be, then that's what we need to be. As a fan base, as alumni, I didn't play either, but I am an alumni. I'm also a donor. Okay? So
right.
I'm going to support Ince 100% as much as I can. And you mentioned support, right? That's what I'm going to do. Now, however that looks, I don't know.
Well, the decision's done.
Yeah.
So there's no sense in crying about it.
This is just like the election. This is the problem that we have in this country. Seriously.
Yeah.
But now it's been condensed down to Fresno State, but it's the exact same thing. People are losing their minds over your guy didn't win.
But I'm seeing a lot of people.
Your guy didn't win.
I did not see this energy all season to hire him.
And you wouldn't.
You should have been.
It's that hard press right at the end.
Again, I'm saying we would never call Ovi interim. We called Ovi the head coach because that's what he was, and that's the narrative that we pushed. And if they didn't give it to Ovi, I get it. I get where they're coming from, because I know Chad and I would have been extremely upset if Ovi was not named head coach. Just because we're friends, I've seen him. I know what Ovi's capable of.
Yeah, but you would still go to the games.
Absolutely,
and you would still
nothing
Fresno
would have
State
changed.
baseball,
I would have
Jake.
not backed out on Fresno. I would have gotten
exactly
to know whoever it is that they hired to replace Ovi, and I guarantee you, Ovi would have wanted that for Fresno State, because he is
I'm
a
sure
dog.
that's what Skipper wants.
I'm sure it is too. I'm sure he's crushed, and I wouldn't blame him, and I thank Skip for the work he did.
But the program is bigger than every individual.
Yeah.
It's a program. It's a tradition. It's the Bulldogs. So the next Bulldog up is Matt Ince. And that's who we're going to get behind. We're going to support him here at Watch Your Lips. I'm sure you are too at Beware. Mm-hmm. And I wish him the best. I'm excited. It's going to bring a whole different look to Fresno State. And I listened to his press conference on the way here. I'm excited. I think he's the right guy. I think he's got a lot of Bulldog in him. I mean, and maybe that's premature, but listening to what I listened to, it's enough to get excited. And I think if anybody hasn't listened to it, go out and listen to it. You're going to feel the same way. He's here to win.
Two things stood out to me on that press conference. I want to hear what stood out to you guys too. But first, it's all about the players to him and the relationships that he has with those players and the community. I think that's huge in Fresno, and just coaching in general as a leader. I really like that. I like that he said that. And I could see that on social media from USC and North Dakota State former players.
Right. And that's where we kind of opened with that. And I think that's huge. No, I think that's huge.
I mean, what stuck out to me, being coaching high school softball, Jake and I both coached high school baseball too. But him saying that, based on NCAA regulations, I want to be in the buildings. I want to build relationships with the high school coaches here in the Valley that have had very successful programs. I want to get down in the trenches with those guys. I want to build strength and conditioning programs. I want to build nutritional programs that we start here and then we end here, right? And it's one thing to say that, but these guys have very limited time. I really feel like he's the guy that's going to go into those locker rooms and want to make those guys like the Kendall Miltons that leave actually think about Fresno State.
Yep.
I think he's going to do that. That's what excites me. He's going to recruit the Valley.
I think so. Real quick before I get to my second point that I like, I was talking to my dad yesterday. Boyd Grant, when Boyd Grant was basketball coach here, he did something in which Wahlberg started doing again. He would take the team when they were done. Boyd Grant would do this, take the team when they're done with the season, and they'd go coach around the Valley. They'd go coach basketball, him and the players. And so when my dad was a player at Kerman High School, they showed up at Kerman High School, and one of the players was his coach. And everybody at Kerman wanted to go play basketball for Boyd Grant because they thought it was cool, because you look up to those kids.
It's a big deal.
Right? And I don't think it's any different. Football, whatever sport it is, I think that's huge.
Yeah,
if he could do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, my 6-year-old son went to the baseball camp this last summer, and all he's done about 9,000 times is ask me when the next one is. And that's
right.
And that's 100%, interacting with players and assistant coaches and having and being on that field. And I think that's the one of the things that stood out to me was more so classy, mentioning discussions with Pat Hill and Tedford.
That was my second one.
Tedford, in relating to the things that he was hearing Entz say and how in line it was with those minds. And I'm thinking, okay, everything seems to be, and maybe it's, you're always you're gonna say the right things in moments like these, but I don't know. I feel like it's time for maybe some change. I don't know. Burns, we haven't even got your take.
I think it's great.
All right. You heard it here first.
I like the hire. Go Dogs.
You're not at all. Are you on the Skip side of it, or where seriously?
I have zero take on it, really. I'm like you, if he was hired as the coach, that would have been fine. I think it's exciting, this guy coming in. I think it'll breathe some life back into the program for next year, because, this year was a stinker.
I didn't mean to steal your second point, Caleb.
It was just stinker. Sorry, Caleb.
No, it's good. No, I think it's great. If we have other coaches coming in, I'm sure they would have loved to see another Bulldog coach. But the fact that those coaches understand the business and talk about Entz in that way and are willing to help him, and then also Entz, they're catching Entz up and things like that, I think that's huge. I kind of relate this whole back to the Skipper thing, which I think should be a big nothing burger quickly, but it's going to be around until the alumni feels comfortable with Entz and gets to know him. And he's got his work cut out for him. But I kind of, when you have family problems, the best thing to do is bring in somebody from the outside to really look at it with a fresh perspective. And it started when Classy was hired as the AD. He brought that. And then, I'm not saying this is the right move, but it looks as now this is happening with the Fresno State football program, right? I mean, I may be criticizing too much, But on the show last week, I talked about, things felt different around the football program. The past couple years with Tedford being sick and things like that, to be honest, it felt like there was a dark spirit lingering, kind of moved from the basketball program to the football program. And you needed somebody outside the family to kind of look at it and address it. And I feel like that is happening now. And I'm not saying, and I don't want to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm thinking through things right now. Maybe I'm thinking too hard.
Well, you're
I get exactly what you're trying to say.
It's
the
hard.
devil is in the details.
Well, and it's hard to go against. I see a lot of fans countering the arguments of alumni.
I love it. Hey,
and
it's against the grain.
It's kind of something. This hasn't happened honestly since probably Pat Hill got fired.
No, you know what has
got
just
ran out
happened?
of town.
You know what has just happened? And I'm a Garrett Classy fan. I know Garrett. And what he did was he didn't take any of the white noise, or he didn't take any noise. He made it white noise. All the fan base, all the alumni. No, what he did was he did his due diligence. Pat, what do you think? Jeff, what do you think? Kalen, what do you think? Right? And then he went out and he talked to trusted advisors that he had on his search committee that was small and that knew Matt Entz. And then he met with him. And then it was sold. So he got the basically the Bulldog circle, I would say, in the last 20 years. And he sat down with them at a round table and he said, okay, what do you guys think? And if they really would have told him, hey, Tim Skipper's our guy, he probably would have listened.
Yeah.
But something happened in those conversations, and I'm not alluding to that I know. I'm just saying something happened to make him want to go to the outside, plus his perception of this is what my eyes are telling me. I've met the fan base. I've met the alumni. I know what the standards are, meaning Classy does, right? And we're not getting that. We're not getting that, so I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to bring that back. And I think he did. I think he's going to. Matt Entz may fail. He may completely fail, but Skipper did. Okay? I mean, bottom line, 6-6 at Fresno State, it to me is considered a failure. Making a bowl game, the Idaho Bowl or the New Mexico Bowl, it should not be a standard. It's never been a standard. It shouldn't. That's not what we want.
Well, and you got an exciting opportunity with this Pac-12 movement to maybe set a tone where Fresno State's no longer a stepping stone.
Yeah.
If we can consistently win. And I think, you look at Boise, while they've had their couple seasons where they were down a little bit, but for the most part they've been a mainstay. And who doesn't want to be in the college football playoff? Like,
Possible.
They're a win away from having to bye and be in the second round automatic. Like, we want that.
Well, send us that video, Caleb, when you get it put together.
Yeah. The last thing real quick is the transfer portal. As far as Fresno State goes, it looks like
Later, Mikey Keene. Thank you. See ya.
a lot of guys are gone. Which begs the question is:
Well,
does playing in a bowl game really matter? Is it really that important?
Not when you're 6-6 playing in the Idaho Bowl, no. But would they be doing this if they're in the playoff hunt? No.
We put playing
That's
in a bowl
the problem.
game at like a successful season.
Right.
But yet all these guys are like, oh, fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah.
I guess the bowl doesn't really matter.
It does.
Are we really dogs?
Yeah.
Can we not? I'm just saying, are we really dogs? Thank you and thank you and thank you for this and thank you for that. I'm not going to play.
Not even thank
I'm
you.
not going to play in the bowl game. And then everybody's like, be respectful. We got to go out and say, hey, good luck at where. Hopefully we play you and you have a good game. Fuck you. We said the same shit the last time. I don't know. Do I got to be nice about it? Does a bowl game really matter to some of these guys?
Hey, you know what? You know what doesn't matter to me is your attention getters on social media.
Don't post shit.
You thanking us.
Just go.
And signing your signature and saying that you're leaving and thanking everybody. Just go. You're treating it like a job. Leave the job. Okay. When you leave a job,
I don't think all
you
my
don't write your
fellow
employer, thank you very much for all that you've done for me. No, you may go in and thank him, shake his hand, and say, hey, it's not working out for me anymore. I'm going to leave, right? But the attention grabbers is what gets me. And Mikey Keene, I've got a thorn already. I've had a thorn for a long time, and now it's even worse.
I don't even care.
No, but here's my problem with this, okay, is he came out prior to the announcement of Vince being the head coach, and he said that he was leaving, okay? And then 2 days later, or yesterday, on Twitter, he said, oh, well, it's because of the coaching changes. No, it wasn't, dude.
Because he's getting
you
a
announced
bigger
it.
bag.
You announced it before anybody knew. Whether you knew or not, you were leaving. And you're getting NIL money to go and be average somewhere else. That's what it is.
Where's he going?
Who knows? Arizona, UCF, who knows? Who knows state?
Just rumors, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Good riddance.
Where are you at, Caleb? You laughed at that. I'm just saying, if a bowl is such a big deal and it should have kept Skipper the job, none of these guys are staying to play in the bowl game.
I agree with you. I think that the landscape of college football has changed, and we're still trying to live in Pat Hill era. Well,
Hey, I loved the Pat Hill era. But college, the state,
it was great, but that's when the regular
nature of college football is not that anymore.
No, you're right.
No, that's when things like the Liberty Bowl and the Freedom Bowl actually mattered. No, conference championships actually mattered. Those games don't matter anymore.
Right.
It don't. I mean, we're going to have a conference. We're going to have a 2-loss team that made the conference championship. They're going to lose, and then a team that finished in third is going to get in.
Well, just go on 247 Sports real quick and look at the top 17 teams and how much transfer portal activity there is right now. Very little. Very little unless you're the third string tight end for Indiana. You might be there. If not, you're hanging tight. So what you're saying, Caleb, none of these games, because of the landscape, matter. But if you're still in the hunt before the selection show Sunday, then they're not leaving. But then they're going to start bouncing later. The same thing's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, wait until Boise beats UNLV. You think I guarantee you UNLV players bounce.
Right.
Well, UNLV coach probably gets snatched up somewhere, but it doesn't matter. And the fact, whenever I hear or see a 7-6 season, assuming we get to a bowl game and win it, that is good. These are the people that, I mean, those are the, I feel like that's a lie.
Yeah.
We can be positive. We can be happy for the win. I'm not if we go to a bowl game and Joshua Woods plays his heart out and wins the bowl game, I will be extremely excited, no doubt. But I will not say that was a successful season based off of going 7-6 and making a bowl game. That, like, what do we get from it? We get a couple viewers and some money, and okay. The college football, the landscape has completely changed, and by Fresno State not embracing that,
we're behind.
Which we are behind. We will never catch up.
No.
I mean, look at Boise. I mean, everybody should look at Boise, look at Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, SMU. They all jumped up, embraced NIL, and that's another conversation for another day, is how we treat our alumni.
Well, and elevating your program at all costs is not like investing into not building a stadium, but like fixing up Bulldog Stadium. Like, that's not, no, we need a new place. So at all costs, we need to go. I don't know what it's going to take, but everybody else is going to go do it at all costs. Whether that's borrowing money that they don't have, like, teams are going to go out and that's what it's going to take.
Well, you got to generate revenue. That's bottom line.
Like, we don't need a 70,000 seat stadium. We could have another 40,000 foot. We just need a new one. Like,
yes, I would like to touch on Coxie talking about generating revenue. I don't think that equals wins, though.
No, but what it can do is it can keep talent here.
That is true.
You can keep talent here that's going to bail.
That is true. I really like what N said about, we can do what we can to get players here and keep players here, but what really matters most is what we do developing them. And I think once you develop those kids and you're winning, it's going to speak for them. Everything's going to speak for itself. So development is number one. Leadership is number one.
And winning cures everything.
Yeah, until those guys get it. I think the biggest issue with all of it is going to come down to the state of college football. You can develop, and that's all good, great things, and winning is great. And then you're going to be in a DeBoer situation where the players are going to go, well, now I'm going to go get $300,000 for a school that can only provide me a scholarship. They're gone. And then a school's going to say, well, man, Ince is doing a great job here. $1.2 million at Fresno State. Here's $4 million to come coach at Utah.
That's fine. If we give them the 5-year contract, they pay us.
But so at some point, I'm saying,
and then we get money.
We
use it towards the next coach that it is going to be a stepping stone for the next 5-year contract. And that's okay. The Pat Hill, Jim Sweeney days are over.
I guess I'm trying to figure. Yeah, I guess that's what I was saying earlier. I don't think Fresno State. How hard is it going to be to maintain and have a? Are you going to have
Ryan Day's going to get fired?
10 years.
Ryan Day might get fired. He loses a playoff game. He's getting fired.
Well, and like to be mad at with not hiring
and
Skip,
how successful has he been?
If Skip had 3, 6, and 6 seasons and got fired, are you going to be mad about it then? He was still your teammate.
I'm mad about it now.
I'm saying he was still teammate.
6 and 6.
Still your teammate.
I get it. But I'm
so
just
is it okay to fire him then if he doesn't win?
To me, it's Bulldog born, Bulldog bred, Bulldog till the day.
And the fact that like we never got another look behind center, like why did we never make a change?
We're gonna see one.
I'm just saying,
we're gonna see one in the Idaho.
We were loyal to the players.
We're going
loyal to the players and not to winning because we're paying a player. I don't give a shit. Do you think the fans give a fuck that he was that Keene was getting paid? No, the fans cared about wins. We care about wins. I get giving players an opportunity and being loyal in that sense, but at some point in every competitive sport, if somebody's not getting the job done, somebody else gets a look.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, Caleb, keep us posted, man. Tag us. We want to know what's going on at Beware.
You got it. We'll be going live tonight, 7:00.
Well, this will be tomorrow, so you'll be ahead of us. But
okay.
So your fans will hear your take first. So there you go. See, that's how what we do for you.
Well, we appreciate you,
guys
man.
Are so kind.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for putting up with me.
Of course, brother.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Hey, congrats again on the
congrats.
Little one.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Burnsy, go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Interesting.
No, good stuff. I mean,
Burns,
sorry for those that don't follow Fresno State all across the country, but we just gave you a good take for it.
Anything in there that you want to add to, or
I don't think he does.
You're not a dog. You dogs?
No, Burns is getting pissed. He wants to move on.
He wants to talk about the Fishies and the Packers.
No, I'm a Dogs fan. Yeah,
I know you're a Dogs fan.
I'm not to your guys' level.
Anything to the college football playoff that's extremely confusing and annoying?
I have a lot of things. Where do you want to start?
You start it. What annoys you the most?
What annoys me the most is the way the playoffs are formatted. So in the NFL, when the top seed gets the bye, the next week they're not playing a Georgia Bulldogs or something like that. They're playing the worst surviving team, the lowest ranked. In this, Texas, who right now is projected number 2, will probably have to play the Georgia Bulldogs in their first game in the playoffs. I don't like that.
I love that.
Why?
I love that. You know what? Beat them all.
Yeah, but that's not. What's the advantage? What's the advantage of being in the top 4? Like
the bye.
But then usually the top teams have an easier path because they won all year.
Well, it's neutral site from after the opening round,
and I don't like that either. I think it should be. I think you and I talked about it, or you and I. Talked about it.
You got to keep the bowl revenue coming in.
Yeah, I get
and that's why they're doing it.
I get why, but I think it should be home games. I think that first round's going to be fun.
First round's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
This is I was telling you guys before, and maybe this is a horrible take, but
Jake hates Kalen DeBoer. You don't want him in. You don't want Alabama in the.
No, why? I don't hate Kalen DeBoer.
I'm just kidding.
God, you give the guy some shit for leaving Fresno State one time.
You don't want Alabama in the playoff.
No,
Alabama,
I want Kalen DeBoer to come back to Fresno State.
Save
You
us.
want to fire Inch already and bring
No,
DeBoer back?
I want to see. I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see this play out.
He wants to see.
He
No,
wants to see it. He gonna see it.
Can I finish?
Can I finish?
Yeah.
I don't want to see projections. I don't think any of this stuff should come out.
This stuff.
This stuff that you can't see on the camera and those listening
And it's
can't
upside
see.
down. There we
Is that better, Burns?
Much better. That a boy.
For those
Ricky
listening,
Vaughn.
for
Ricky
those
Vaughn.
listening,
Upside down.
go
Right
watch.
guard. Sports stick.
I don't.
good.
I think that nothing should be released until after the conference.
Not even a
champions.
top 25.
No, the rankings are fine.
okay.
But some projected bracket. No, don't put that out.
I like it personally
Well,
because it
I do
shows
too. I think it
where
brings a little
would
more
be.
excitement, and it does. When
it creates
the dominoes
this.
start to fall.
It creates the controversy, and we've had 3-4 weeks now of just talking about where everybody's going to land.
Well, this is what's amazing about college football. Okay, we were just bitching 2 years ago about it's only 4 teams. We got to expand. We got to expand. Oh, they're going to
Now we're
expand.
bitching about 12
Now we're
teams.
excited, right?
Oh yeah.
Dude, if you can't get into the top 12 by the end of the year, okay, whatever it is, because it's going to end up being the top 12 that get into the playoff are going to be the top 12 ranked teams. That's what they will do. Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they will.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because if a
conference
number
champion-
16 Iowa State beats a number 15 Arizona State, they're going to end up at 12. That's what's going to happen.
What about UNLV?
UNLV beats a Boise, they're going to be
12.
an 11 or
11.
a 10 or
Well,
somewhere
they're
around.
automatically in, right? At that point,
What about a conference champion Army?
No, technically,
they're not a Power 5, right? It has to be
technically,
from the Power 5
Well,
that are automatic
Fresno State's
bids.
not in a Power 5. They're in a group of 5s.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how.
I missed all that.
I
what
don't
you
know
guys were
how
doing.
the
Sorry about
that's the
that.
confusing part that you were alluding to.
I don't think it's Power 5 anymore anyways.
The top
Well, it's
four
Power
conference-
4.
Yeah.
The top 4 seeds go to the top or the highest ranked conference champions.
Correct.
Right, but
Or
Army's
top 4.
playing for the American.
But
And
I-
they're 10-1.
Yeah, they're not going to be ranked. They're not ranked now.
Yeah, they
they're
are.
not the highest ranked
Right.
of amongst conference champions is what I'm saying. In Arizona State, Iowa State, Boise
So
State,
why
or
rank
UNLV would be
why
higher.
rank Army at all? They're gonna if they win the conference champion and go 11-1,
and are ranked 20th.
and conference championships matter, but they're outside the top 12. Why would
See,
why
I
even
really
play the
think
fucking
that-
games?
Yeah, I don't think that all conference championships matter.
That's why I'm saying don't put this shit out. Wait till the conference champions are over, and then go for it.
Well, they are going to do that, Jake. They're just
I'm just
doing
saying,
it
I
now.
would-
These are predictions.
You know how you waited
This
to know
isn't
what sex
happened.
your child was going to be or your wife did?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying with this.
Wait a little. I mean, it makes it more clear how it. I guess it doesn't, but
I mean, it's more fun to talk about.
yeah, it makes
prior.
it much more fun to talk about, and it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like and what to expect. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
now everybody's lobbying for we have to have 16.
yeah,
We have to have 16.
I think 12's fine. I think it's going to play out fine. You know what? Just go win. I keep seeing people from South Carolina, and Caleb got a lot of shit from South Carolina fans because South Carolina's like, it's, head to head can't just be the end all be all, because Alabama lost to Vandy in Oklahoma and South Carolina beat Vandy in Oklahoma. But if you'd have beat Alabama, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
If you'd have beat Ole Miss, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, again, finish. You
lost.
You had the lead.
Head to head fucking matters.
Yes, absolutely.
The Dodgers,
Strength of schedule.
if the Yankees can't go and say, hey, well, we beat a better team than the Dodgers, or we beat the Dodgers in the regular season. That shit doesn't matter
No, but it does in college football.
because the Dodgers lost to who the Yankees beat. The
Right.
Yankees should be World Series. No.
No, but Bama beat South Carolina. There's no argument. In my opinion, there's no argument. Amongst those two teams,
I think both beat
zero
LSU.
argument.
Well, somebody beat LSU. I think Ole Miss beat LSU,
yeah.
So did Bama.
and South Carolina lost. And whether it was they shouldn't have, it was a bad call, and I saw that game, they still lost.
Right.
So you want to use it for when you beat the teams they lost to, but they can't use it for the the teams that they beat that you lost to?
What else you got in this college football, Burnsy, that
Besides
you
the
want to
schedule?
chat about?
The floor is yours because I could tell you're chomping at the
No,
bit
I
to
was
talk about.
because you said you had a lot to talk about.
No, regarding the format and all that stuff, I never have a lot to talk about.
So just the format, you don't like
Because
it?
we are emphasizing conference championships being like mattering. So
Right.
So you're saying if
I
12
do-
beats 5, you want 12 to go play 1.
Correct. Yeah. The other thing,
I don't think conference champions. I think you're guaranteed in the top 12. Period.
so.
But I don't think you should be guaranteed a bye just because you won your conference. The Mountain West and the SEC are not created equal. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
hang
No,
on.
not at all.
We've talked about the college landscape. Okay, and I agree kind of with what you're saying, Burnsy. 12 should play 1.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's never going to happen because it won't generate as much revenue. You know, if you see let's just say it's Oregon, and Oregon would be playing Tennessee or Ohio State.
But do anybody get a bye
Well,
in the
Tennessee and Ohio State are playing to play Oregon.
Yeah, but in March Madness,
Both of those games, though,
March Madness,
are going to
nobody-
generate massive revenue. Massive revenue. Or would you rather see, in this case, if it happened right now,
Arizona State and Oregon.
Arizona State and Oregon? Would you want to see that? It's not
we're
going to
all
generate.
gonna watch it.
It's not going to generate as much revenue, is what I'm saying, Burns. To your point, I agree with you as far as the lowest seed should play the highest seed.
Yes.
However, college football landscape, they're never going to do it because it's not going to generate the revenue that it should.
I
That's why.
understand that. You asked
So they want
for my
no,
gripe
and
about it.
I agree with you.
Yeah. That's
I'm
all.
not-
That's all.
we're not
We're
fighting,
friends.
yeah.
Let's hug.
Fishy said,
Hug it
"Whoa,
out.
fishy,
Let's hug it
fishy."
out. Hug it out. And the other thing is, obviously, the revenue side of it, it will never happen. The home games. I think that's going to be a blast to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see these SEC teams have to go up and play in the cold weather, see how they play, see if they are the big bad conference that they've always been. Is Big Ten teams going to dominate
All right,
on
real
those
quick.
home games?
Real quick. Speaking of the Big Ten, Oregon or Penn State?
Oregon.
Is it at a neutral site?
Yes. I believe so. I think it's in at the Colts Stadium.
I'm going to say Penn State.
Oregon.
I think Oregon.
All right, Arizona State, Iowa State.
I have no clue. I'll just say Arizona State. I haven't followed.
Yeah, I
them.
haven't seen either.
I'll say Iowa State.
I'll go Arizona State.
I'm going to go Arizona State too. ACC, Clemson, SMU.
Clemson.
God, and that just
They're on fire
that just
lately.
tears it up though.
Oh, that wrecks the
It
playoffs.
just
So let's all go Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah, go
Wreck it.
Tigers.
UNLV, Boise State.
UNLV. I think.
Can they
Boise
both
State will
lose?
win.
Can they both
You
get shut out?
hate UNLV.
They beat Fresno State, so
Yeah,
I
they
hope
did.
they
They
both
beat
get
you.
shut out.
So did 5 other teams.
Hey, Burns, nobody asked you.
Oh, I asked.
I don't know if UNLV can stop this train.
It's Boise State.
I
John
just
Mayer.
don't.
That was a John Mayer reference.
Stop this train. You know what? UNLV.
Yeah.
And then the
Rebels.
dark horse I'm going in the playoffs is going to be the Notre Dame
You
Fighting
missed Georgia
Irish.
and Texas.
Georgia, Texas.
Texas.
I'm going to say Georgia.
Texas.
I'm going to say Texas.
I think you guys are going to
Tejas.
end up right, but yeah.
Tejas.
And Army or Tulane.
Tulane.
Just to be fair.
Army.
We care about all college teams.
Tulane.
We care about the little guy.
We're equal employers.
Tulane with the
Equal-
upset over Army?
Yep.
Okay.
Going Tulane. Tulane.
2.
I'm going Army so they can have a chance to raise some ruckus about, hey, we're 10-1 and we're
We should be in the playoffs.
Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry. You were
Dark horse.
Dark horse, I'm going Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Notre Dame.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Go ahead, Burns.
He's going
Dark
to
horse,
go
I'll
to
say-
Alabama
I'll-
football team. It's the Alabama football team.
Well, I would contradict. Oh no! I wouldn't.
If Alabama
Indiana.
gets in,
yeah, they're a dark horse.
they're a dark horse too.
But I'll go Indiana based off.
Is
of
Georgia
this
a dark horse?
Yes.
Honestly,
I'm just kidding.
because I don't
Georgia's
think
never a dark
10 and
horse,
2.
dude.
at number 7 it just kind of looks funny.
one. Yeah,
But I also think, I don't know, man. Tennessee
There's something about Tennessee.
Tennessee.
They got that checkerboard too.
And watch them just get dump trucked. Hey, speaking of, how great was it to not have a great meal on Thanksgiving, followed up by a juicy, tasty, lovely, just
Pumpkin pie.
Ohio State loss.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Can you
Pumpkin pie.
Can you all just savor? My mouth's so watery from that loss. It's so good. It was a beautiful thing to witness.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
There was
And
some
to you
good
Ohio State
college
fans
games.
out there, and I know there's some that listen, I wished it was just as good for you. I know. I know. Maybe next year, maybe five years of charm.
What if they come back and win the national championship?
Ohio State, there's
Yeah.
no chance.
I don't think so either.
It's
I
not
said,
happening.
what if?
I don't think they can. Well, I mean, there is a chance.
They took Oregon to the end.
Yeah, Lloyd Christmas had a chance.
If
so
I do,
Ohio
I'll-
State does too.
If they do, I'll congratulate them.
All right.
You will watch
I
your
won't.
lips.
No,
I won't.
Watch your lips.
I'll never ever watch congratulate. Good job. I will never.
You said you would.
I was lying, Burns.
Oh, dang.
Many
You
years
flipped.
ago. Many years ago.
Many moons.
Okay. When Tim Tebow was a Florida Gator,
Tim Tebow.
Jake came over to my house. This Ted Ginn Jr. was on Ohio State.
Teddy.
And they kick the ball off. Florida kicks the ball off. And Ted Ginn Jr. runs it back about 98 yards. And Jake was cheering in my living room.
Yeah, it's because
For
I
Ohio
did not
State.
want him to win.
So don't.
No.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
No.
that he's giving you
because
guys.
here's
He's-
you want to know.
viewers and
Hold on a
listeners
second. Hold
need
on
to
a
know
second.
the truth.
You want the truth? I don't think I've ever explained why I don't like them so much.
Yeah, I don't.
It happened after that. And it was when Jim Tressel left and Terrell Pryor and all those guys got in trouble for selling rings and merch and all this stuff for tattoos. And they said, all right, let us play in a bowl game and we'll take a suspension going into the next season. Jim Tressel left or got fired, and every one of those guys went to the NFL. And it just pissed me off.
That they went to the NFL.
Yeah, that they never had to serve a suspension. They won the bowl
So
game.
you are admitting that you were rooting for him.
Oh
in
yeah,
my living
because
room.
I couldn't stand Urban Meyer, and I wanted Florida to lose.
Oh, and then he goes to Ohio State.
that-
who
that
really-
happened.
No, he won another national
That
No, I know,
championship.
happened
but I'm saying
after.
after.
It happened
Florida.
after.
at some point.
And then another one at Ohio
My
State.
hatred started there. That's when I turned on Ohio State. And that I will
Lots of
never
national championships.
never go back again.
What are you?
Too bad he's no Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll or Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Nick Saban doesn't have a Super Bowl, but Pete Carroll does. He's got both.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
So does Switzer.
I guess
right?
we had in that debate. So
Oh, the dark horse.
sorry, I totally dark horse. I mean, I'm gotta go Georgia.
All right.
Georgia.
Well, I mean, we're running out of daylight here.
Yeah,
You know,
dark horse.
he said Indiana, the Hoosiers.
Indiana. Yeah.
Out of here. Indiana, out of here.
Signetti. Their coach.
Out of here.
He's a
And you
dog.
took who?
Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But if Bama gets in, I take Bama.
All right, and then
So
I mean,
anybody could
again,
be a
we are
dark
running
horse
out of
in-
daylight.
in our thing.
Eberflus. That was the
He
second
got
best
Eberflused.
second
he said
best
he would.
thing.
He did.
Yeah.
that happened
Well,
on Thanksgiving.
When you were talking about Skipper, well, for you, the second best, her first best thing on Thanksgiving was go Pack go. When you were talking about Skipper and losing those close games, it was the same thing with Eberflus. The last 3 games against, I think it was Vikings, Lions, and Packers, they lost by a total of 7 points.
Well, the Commanders
Yeah.
are who?
7 points in the NFL
Oh, the
is much
The
bigger
Commanders'
than it
Hail
is
Mary
in college.
is where all this
Well, yeah, where it all
downhill
Yeah,
slide started.
yeah.
Which is
You got to
it's
close
hilarious.
out games.
Hilarious.
And they were looking, I wish they would have beat.
They were what 4-2 going into that game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep. But Caleb Williams, it's looking like he may throw for 20 touchdowns. I think he's at like 15
11?
or
Is
16.
he at 11?
I think 15 or
Yeah, I
16.
think 11.
I think you. Oh well, I don't think
pretty
you're
sure
wrong.
it's 11.
I think
know
Jeff
you're
told
wrong.
me he's got the same as Tua, and Tua's missed 5 games. So
Okay, well we'll fact check because I know
Well,
it's not.
I think out of the quarterbacks drafted, the only one that's behind him is Penix and McCarthy.
it was 11. It was 11 going into Thanksgiving, and he threw for 3 that day, I believe. I don't
and a
believe I
loss.
know. Yeah, no, I'm just going back to one of the calm your lips that you tried to call me out on 2 weeks ago.
I'm still going to hold to it, Burns. And
Less
if he
than
throws
20?
21, good for him.
Well,
they suck.
And I'm right. I don't care.
4 and
I don't
13
care how
Bears.
they are.
No, you know
I'm
what? You
right.
do care because
right.
you rescue.
I'm right.
Bears need
You're right about
John
what?
Gruden.
You're right
That he
about
would throw
Caleb
for more
Williams.
than-
He's not a flop.
Over 20.
He isn't a flop.
Over 20.
He's not a
bust.
flop.
He's not a
He's
bust.
He's not a bust.
He's
yeah, he
not
is.
yet.
Yeah, he is.
No.
he's
He's
a
not
baby
yet.
Mahomes. He's a baby Mahomes.
And Mahomes,
Well, he's got
I
3
wouldn't
Super
mind.
Bowls.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't mind a bust.
Can
like
I make my point?
You
yeah,
lost
he's
me.
a baby Mahomes. But here's the thing. He's not Mahomes. He's
Mahomes.
never going to be Mahomes.
Mahomes.
He's not as athletic as Mahomes, but he wants to do all the shit Mahomes does. And it doesn't work. He throws
Have you listened
picks.
to my response to you doing that every single time you do it? I hope you're right. I just don't think you are. I think he's good. I'm not saying I want him
and
to
have
be
you
good.
listened to my consistency, the
and my
stability of this
consistency?
podcast?
Have you heard my consistency?
Consistency.
My consistency
My
is
consistency.
he's a flop.
Okay, you're
I don't think we can go there.
Yeah.
You know what
You're
might be able to
entitled.
salvage him?
Can't go there.
Go get you Mike Vrabel.
Jim Harbaugh
Bears.
would have salvaged
Hey,
him.
Go
Bears,
get you John Gruden.
Go get you Mike Vrabel or John Gruden.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
I
then
like those
put
two.
Cliff Kingsbury in there to
Got me
coach him up.
feeling nicey.
Cliff Kingsbury would do exactly what he
No,
refused.
I'm not saying as a
He'd
head
refuse.
coach.
No,
Not
he
as
beat
a head coach.
Eberflus on a Hail Mary call. It was a great play call.
It was.
It was a great play call.
It was.
Yeah, when the other guys out there,
Yeah, celebrating. It's just-
Idiot.
And you have to be the guy to tip the ball. It's beautiful.
The Bears aren't going to win another game, and I think we calmed our lips about 4 weeks ago, right after that Commanders.
NFL Mad
Hail
Dash. NFL Mad Dash. You got any NFL Mad Dash you want to do? Anything?
Packers, yay!
What about
that
the
division?
the Trevor Lawrence hit? The guys went at that dude pretty freaking hard, and I was like, yeah. I mean, but how are you supposed to stop? How are you supposed to stop?
Well, and it didn't. The slide was not like a smooth slide where you knew he was going to slide.
Did he trip?
Who?
Did he slip?
The defender?
No.
Did Trevor Lawrence slip?
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
so.
he slid.
He did
He
slide.
slid.
You haven't seen it?
I saw it.
Wait a second. What?
Caleb
Yeah, I
Williams,
saw it.
14 touchdowns, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry,
Running out of games
we
to
had
get to
go
20.
Yeah.
4 more.
Yeah, he might.
Two
He-
a game.
he
You're
might.
at 22. 2 a game. Tua.
No, Tua gets more than 2 a game.
I wasn't saying 2. It's just getting 2. I was just making
has
a word.
15.
It was a word play.
So we don't really give a shit about Trevor Lawrence getting smoked.
Tua has 15.
What do you guys think about these college football
4 picks.
games and everybody trying to plant their flag in the middle of the field? And then to see Texas and to them not doing, not being more respectful.
Not a good look.
I didn't think so either.
What, the planning of the
Yeah.
flag?
Yeah, not a good look.
Oh, I think it's great. I think you should do it. That's what rivalry weekend's all about.
I mean, if you really hate it,
I think the
Go
way
win.
that the teams are reacting, going and like trying to fight and do all that, I think that's ridiculous. I think police officers
Burns.
pepper spraying people.
That's bad look.
That's a bad.
That's
look.
what I'm
if
talking
I'm on
about.
the other team and you plant your flag in the middle of my
I'll
field,
plant it right
we're
on your
fighting.
face. I'll put it
So
on your face.
there's no way that they're not going to fight. They're going to fight. If somebody puts a flag, their flag, in the middle of your field, you're fighting.
Win the game, like you always say. Just win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
You wouldn't get pissed though.
Yeah, he's fighting. I know. Burns,
Yeah, I'd
and
probably
he's
be
fighting.
pissed.
Yeah, he's fighting.
But like, I still don't care. Like, who cares? It's
But we know
rivalry
they're
weekend.
rivals. We know Ohio
Burns
State.
comes in with these. I don't care all the time. Yes, you do.
No, I
You don't
don't
care until you do care.
I don't care.
You sound like you're not a
I think-
competitor,
What if
and I want to
Boise
rescue
State-
you here for a minute because
if-
you are a fucking competitor. Burns.
That's what I just
Okay,
said.
so you know what? You would get pissed. So don't say I don't care.
I said I
'Cause you
would
do
get
care.
pissed. Did you hear me? I said yes, I would get pissed.
Yes, he did
And he
say
also-
that.
Said that.
did he not
And
say, "I
said,
don't care"?
I don't care that they're doing it.
Oh.
Words, semantics.
But you would care if they did
somebody
it.
did it to you and you were on
Yeah,
the other
most
team.
likely.
Would you fight him?
If it
Okay,
warranted
you wouldn't
it,
fight him. I'd fight him.
If it
would you fight him?
warranted it,
Probably.
Yeah, we're fighting.
Yeah.
I'd probably be.
Well,
pissed.
I'd run in behind
and
you
to
guys.
be honest
I'd
with
fight
you,
I'd have your backs.
And you'd take 5 10-year-old kids too,
No,
not 20.
Oh, please.
to be honest, I don't.
now
I wouldn't.
Now those are
You know.
fighting words.
I don't think I would be the guy doing that, like going to the middle of the field, and I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that, but
I'd be the guy
mean,
that would grab it from him.
look
Yeah,
at-
because
hey,
what goes
I-
around comes around sometimes, and it's gonna happen to you. Like you gotta, if you're gonna be able to dish it out, you better fucking be able to take it. And we got a lot of kids in this world now that can definitely dish it out, but nobody can take shit.
Well, me and Coxie back in high school will reminisce a little bit when we beat Clovis. What did I do as soon as I?
Yeah, you
struck-
muscled up on them.
Oh, and I gave them.
They remember it till this day. How about that?
And then Coxie gave them what when we were going to the.
I
bus.
doubled down on him as we were going through the. Hey, good game, good game, good game, good game. Just talking shit to each one of them.
Just like,
And then what'd you say?
And then at the end, I told them, they were like, oh, you guys were the 16 seed. And I'm like, hey, when you're on your couch watching Ricky Lake, we'll be in East Bakersfield.
Yeah, come watch us play on Friday,
Yes.
dickhead.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know what's funny
that's where
is
we'll
the
be.
guys that I know at Clovis still remember that.
Do they really?
Yeah. Of
Well,
course they
Coach
do.
Patrick does.
Oh yeah, they
Every
all do.
time I run into him,
They all do.
He's like, you.
I've talked to Chris Patrick about it. He remembers it clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, 'cause
Anyways.
he was the only one that got to second base.
Yep.
Nobody else did that game.
That was
To
a
lead
and that was
off
fun
a
performance.
lead-off double off the wall.
Yep.
And then Burnsy just shut him down.
Oh, that and their fan base,
Few
their
ground
whole
balls.
stands were just
Few
doing
double
wee.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Burnsy was
Sorry.
giving
The
me
glory
love.
days.
I know.
The
Sorry,
glory
I don't
days.
do that often, people.
Good.
but
Here, let me
when I
pat you on
do-
the back.
here,
Right here.
Oh, thank
Get
you.
that dub for the Coyotes. The Coyotes. Yeah, I don't think I would be the guy to go put my flag in the middle. We beat you. We don't need to do anything else.
Right.
We just beat you in your house. And now you got to sit here and wait 365 and eat on that for 4 straight years. Leave it at that. But I mean, at the end of the day, either I don't care.
Yeah, right.
That's the way these kids are these days. You're not going to stop it.
Yeah.
Like whether I like it or not, it's not going to stop. So
I'm still going to care.
I know you are.
I'm still going to care.
Jeff's
I don't
gonna be
like it.
that old man.
I don't like it.
I was going to say,
I don't like it.
If
Not my
Boise State,
granddad,
bad
he's
look.
America.
Boise State did it in Fresno, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yes.
And you better hope we don't catch fans in the parking lot. Hey,
Everybody's fighting.
because their fans are getting a dose of it for their players doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
that's why they're rivalries.
anything else, boys? I know we spent a lot of time on the Dogs. We didn't do any NFL really. Other than
Big game tonight. Let's go, Pack, go against those Lions. Who do you guys got? Who do you got? It's Lions are a 3-point favorite. They're at home.
Is he even asking us this question?
The last 5 years,
the
the road
Lions.
team has won or something like that. Last 5 games.
Hang on. Let me think about
Are you
this.
okay?
I'll
Burns,
take
watch
the
your lips.
Super Bowl champion Lions
Okay, bad
in this
take.
game
Jake,
and every other game that
Lions.
they play this year.
do you know anything about the Lions right now?
I know everything about the Lions.
Okay, tell me about them.
They have the highest scoring offense in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
The Packers do not.
Okay.
That's all I need to tell you.
Okay.
Okay? They're going to
I'm
score
just
more
wondering.
points.
Their
And
defense
that's how you
is
win the
really
football
banged
game?
up. Their offensive line, they lost their left tackle.
Burnsy, I
I'm
know the
not
Fishies
saying-
lost. I
I'm
know the
not
Fishies
saying
lost.
that Green
The
Bay-
Packers didn't look good.
Green Bay just needs to clean it up some. That's the biggest thing. Right now they're playing very immature. They're committing a lot of felony penalties.
Felonies, too,
I
yeah.
meant to say it.
Yeah.
You should have just
I know.
Say it.
Is Josh Jacobs going to play? Is he
I
fine?
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
see,
know
that's
yet.
going to be a problem if he doesn't. But you know what, Burns?
Yeah.
Back to the Fishies. Okay?
Oh gosh.
Green Bay didn't look very good.
Ten.
you should just write
mean-
down what you wanted to talk about with the Dolphins and let us do it for you.
Go ahead.
But you got to write. it.
Go.
No,
you
go ahead.
say it,
Yeah, I-
There
I-
was
then
a
I'll
muff
say it.
punt. There was a muff punt. They turned the ball over on downs twice in Green Bay territory. The 2 touchdowns that they did have that wasn't the Jacobs run was a 2-yard touchdown pass and like a 6-yard touchdown pass. They didn't move the ball very well.
How'd they get it to the
Miami
two?
gave them.
Oh, you're saying Miami turned it over.
yeah.
Did Miami
fumble.
give it to him, or was their defense playing well?
Well, they muffed the punt.
Okay.
Or
so the punter, he hit a good punt. And
yeah,
made him
right
muff
into
it.
Washington's
No, I think
breadbasket,
I think
dude.
it goes back to the point that the Dolphins cannot play in cold weather, and that's what we're going to see in the college football playoffs. Can these SEC teams play in cold weather? I don't know. The Dolphins have proven they can't.
To start.
Yeah, to start those first round games. Unfortunately, Dolphins want to be comfortable in 70-degree weather with their Miami Vice haircuts.
It's unfortunate that everybody else in their league has snow.
Yeah.
Miami Vice haircuts. That's not making fun of them, Burns.
I wasn't making fun of him. Why do you take it negatively? Why are you taking? I'm stating a fact.
I think the Packers, Burns, have a lot of work to do.
I agree.
They're a good team. They're not a great team.
I think if you went back and listened 4 or 5 weeks ago, I said they're good. I don't know if they're ready to make a Super Bowl run.
I love it when you guys go back. It's one of my favorite things.
One of my favorite things is when we come back next week and Detroit wins by 2 touchdowns.
And the Niners lose again?
Yeah, and the window has closed.
Oh, gosh.
We're shutting that drive-through down, baby.
He only brings up the ones that he gets right. He only brings up the ones that he gets right.
You can't even read my mind. I was not thinking that. I was thinking, here we go, because you bring up the Niners and how the window closed.
No, but
window didn't close.
The window hasn't closed for the Niners.
This year, but not in the long run, which you talked about future.
All right, so they're going to pay all these guys?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to defer it. Yeah. We're going to defer $1 billion.
Don't even get me started.
We'll get into it. We only have so much. If we didn't hire a new coach, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
And thanks, man. I appreciate the hat.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Why so aggressive?
Yeah. He didn't even reach over to.
Okay. It's good luck. Burns, watch your lips.